much for tuning in to another episode of Conversations with Chan. Today, I have a woman that is simply amazing. She has done it all and she's traveled and she is now empowering others. Welcome, everybody, Queen Turner.
Hi.
Yes. So, Queen, please tell everyone um, about you and what you do and what you've done.
Well, a quick synopsis. Again, my name is Queen Melinda Turner. Um, I was born in North Carolina, raised in the Maryland, D.C. area. Ran away from home at the age of 14. Been on my own ever since. Put myself through college, and I've traveled the world, every place but Africa. I haven't been to Africa. Now I want to go because at first I didn't want to go, but now I want to go. And I've had some very interesting people in my life to help me along the way. I know what it is to be rich, and I know what it is to be poor. I trust and believe. I'm glad I'm alive, but I prefer I don't have to be rich, but I want a little more money in my pocket.
Oh, I you are like I'm already, I'm smiling because, from you to go from putting yourself through college, to traveling to doing all of these things, you are the epitome of I'm going to make it no matter what somebody says. So, listen. And now you put your life into a biography for others to read and to walk your journey with you, and I'm excited for meet one, because the people that are in the book, the people that you have worked with and you have encountered, and you've lived a great life and
Thank
still
you.
got more to live. So I'm
It,
like,
it's had its ups and downs. There's no ups without the downs, believe
that's
me.
true.
Yeah, but I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed. They say God watch out for fools and babies. Well, I was a baby, then I was a fool. So he had my back the whole time. So I as my grandmother would say, I won't complain.
And that is a beautiful part about it. So I really, because I read your bio, and so I will say this. What was it? I'm gonna have to ask you. What was it like being a Soul Train dancer?
It was an exhilarating experience because again, when you can dance and love the dance, you love the art itself, and you're seen all over the world. And so that makes people in some of the remote places that you would never think that you would be see you every week. That's a very good feeling, and that you love doing it and being a part of it. I mean, we made history. We're in the African History Museum, the new one in Washington D.C. So
Yes, you
hey,
are.
that lets me know we made it.
Yes, you are. I actually did the bid to win that museum, so I know the panels that are in there. I can tell you every
Okay.
single part in that museum. So
All right.
that's the beautiful part of being a part of history. And it's like I'm in like you are. I'm just so excited because it's like y'all don't understand. Like, if you don't know, because nowadays things are so much more easy. Like, I would say more, it's easy to attain. Like, there's no work that's really put into it. People don't really struggle like they used to do stuff. Like, it's like, okay, I did this, 3 minutes later I'm here. They don't walk the journey, don't have the journey, the path, the stories to tell about how they got to where they got to. So it's like, you're not as interested in knowing it because you're like, all I gotta do is fill out this form online, do this dance, go viral, and I'm on TV. Like, there's no backstory, there's no journey, there's no steps.
Yeah, they
So
they didn't. We used to call it the Chitlin circuit. They
mhm,
didn't have to do the Chitlin circuit. It's a little easier now. I mean, it's still a big climb to get there, but still, it's a lot easier with social media, and all of that. at everybody's advantage. So yeah, but we work what they call the chitlin circuit. So
Yeah, like, and that's even, and I see that it's like, you know, the reward is not as, you know, they're not as, people are not as, you know, as grateful like as they should be if they had to travel those late nights down the roads or on buses, and you know what I'm saying, like going through different venues who they couldn't even, you really couldn't perform there but you did any, you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff, like going through all of those ins and outs. That's what makes the journey so good, because you have a story to tell. Not
yes.
that I woke up because I posted a video online. Like, that ain't, what's the story in that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I've lived through some of it. I was very young out there when I started out. So, but like I said, again, I had good people that had my back and looked out for me. And but yeah, all of it was exciting, exhilarating, scary, and crazy all at the same time sometimes. Yeah.
See, that's what make it worth it. Like, you didn't die, so you're good.
Yeah, I'm still here to talk about it. Exactly. Exactly.
So, what has been some of the things, what's one of the greatest accomplishments that you've had that you touch on in your book?
Well, I mean, it's several. It's hard to really pinpoint one, but um, you know, meeting Isaac Hayes, going through that adventure with him, hot buttered and soul, and then Don Cornelius and Soul Train, and Zsa Gabor. She was a part of my life. So I've really had some good people to form my example from.
See,
I saw a country boy that had worked his way up and became one of the highest paid musicians ever. And then I also had my dad. My dad was started working at 9 years old and became, I always call him the mini mogul, Posey Turner. So it was like, and then, like I said, my cousin Ike Turner. So I had a lot of people that really, some good, some bad, that I saw along the way that helped me in my journey.
and see, that's the thing. Like, people need to understand, like, because I see all these stories. Oh, I made it by myself. You know, there were people along the way. Don't do that.
Yes, please, please, please. Well, first of all, my grandmother was the one that molded me. So when I left home at 14, I was able to survive with all the words of wisdom that she had given me. So that's where it originally started from. My dad, he worked a lot. So he was the provider for the family. Like most people said, would ask me, when I first got out on my own, I knew nothing about being on welfare. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? My dad worked 3 jobs, and my mom worked part-time. So it was like, and people would look at me like, yeah, you come from the DC, Maryland area and you don't know. No, my dad worked and we ate good. And my dad built us when we moved from Virginia after my brothers were born, um we were in a little house that my aunt and uncle owned, and this attorney believed in my dad so much, he helped my dad build a 7-bedroom house from the ground up.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know about me myself personally. I didn't know about not having, because I had best dress in school, so that type of thing, because my dad worked so that I could have, and I demanded it because I was a brat.
But see, that's the thing. Like, everyone just, when people assume that, oh, you know about struggle and you know about this, not everybody had that. Not everybody black had that. Like, just be real. Like, I mean, I know growing up, my dad did everything that he could. Like, I never wanted for anything. So that's why when somebody's like, well, you know, I had to struggle. No, don't know
Yeah,
about that life.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, and the thing about it is, there was a struggle, but I didn't know about it, to
Right.
per se. You see
As
what
a
I'm
kid,
saying?
yeah.
When we had that house built, everybody thought we were rich, So it was like, and then again, like I said, I was rotten because my grandmother had helped spoil me, and I wanted to sing and dance, and my dad working 2 and 3 jobs, he managed my career and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, it was, no, I knew there was a struggle, but I didn't have to be a part of it. And so when people when people would look at me and say, when I would say, oh no, I don't know nothing about living in the projects and stuff. So a few years ago, when the museum opened,
Mm-hmm.
and Obama had the big dinner, and we were all invited and everything, and so we could get to see the museum before the public did. Beautiful. Well, some of my soul trainers, my sister and brothers, had to stay at my father's home where I grew up in, and they were like in awe. They were like, "You weren't kidding. You did. You." And I said, "Yeah, I had no reason to lie about my upbringing. I struggled more when I ran away from home than I did when I was at home. So that's that's the way it was."
It is. It is one of those things. Like I tell people, like you know, you gotta take when somebody tells you something. Sometimes you really gotta understand. When you go back to see it, you realize, like, dang, they didn't really go through that.
Right.
So, tell me about the title of your book, Queen of the Crop.
Queen of the crop. Okay. My grandmother, like I said, my mom was young. My dad was young, but he was a hard worker. And then when my mom went out to work, I don't know anything about a babysitter either, because my grandmother was our babysitter. I have 6 siblings up under me, because my parents were very young when they had me, and when they got married. And so my grandmother, she was there, so she was a hands-on. She was the babysitter, the grandmother, the mom and dad, all rolled into one. So she used to always talk about the cream of the crop, meaning the top of the line.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was thinking about a name for my book, I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I'm queen of the crop. I think I'm top of the line. So that's how the title came about, in honor of my grandmother.
And see, that's the beautiful part of it, because when you say queen of the, like, I love that title because they're always, everybody's, I'm a queen, but the thing is, it's what sets you apart from the rest of the crowd. And to me,
Mhm.
your journey, your story is, it sets you apart from everybody, because it's something that should be admired, because you persevered no matter what. And we were on a panel the other day with Sharif or whatever, and you were talking about loving yourself and knowing your value. In the book, do you speak on that some more?
Yes, very much so. Very much so. Like I said, I have a chapter coming out before my book comes out. In a book, it's called I Am My Sister's Keeper. And I have a chapter in that. And it's about 6, 7 pages, 8 pages of a chapter. Various artists contributed to that I Am My Sister's Keeper. And, I touch on that. Had I not had my grandmother's, words of wisdom and instillment, I wouldn't have, I don't think I would have fared so well. But I always had that drive that I know I didn't want to follow in the footsteps of certain people that I knew of or heard of. So it was like I had a drive to make sure that I didn't, like I said, it was just some people that couldn't get my money. That was preachers, pimps, and drug dealers. I wasn't having it. Because number one, I could preach my own word. Not, don't get me wrong, all you Christians out there. I'm not saying that, but preachers sometimes preyed on young women. I'm
Yep.
not saying them all. I'm not speaking about all of them, but I had encountered some. Then you have the pimps. I was the biggest pimp, because why? Because I had children very young. So by the time I got finished doing for them, I was the pimp. I had nothing else for no one else. And drugs, that was I had family members on alcohol and drugs, and I saw the effects of that. So I knew I never wanted to be a part of that.
So, and see, that's the thing. And this is where, you know, your story is going to resonate with people because it's going to get people to thinking and understanding how, how life is and how to navigate a little bit better. Because even now, like, preachers and pimps, they're coming through your phone and on your computer and your TV now. So, and this is when, that's how they're reaching out and trying to get you. So this is where, you have to have that discernment to understand what's right and what's wrong for you. So I did see that you are a part of the Glamour squad, and you have a store.
Yes. I created a reality show called Diva Glamours. And because people have always called me Diva, I didn't really know the terminology when I was younger, when I would hear that word. But then as I got older, I could appreciate that word a little more because I examined myself and I said, okay, I am a diva. And like grandmas, I look at my grandmother and I look at myself. Two totally different entities as far as what we were looking like. My grandmother was one of those OG grandmothers who didn't play. You got the switch whooping, the whole 9 yards. I mean, she had on her house dress and her flat shoes and her stockings, and one of them may roll down and the other one may still be up. Pull her hair back in a bun, and that was it. And she sit at that sewing machine and go at it. I am nowhere near. I love my grandmother to death, but I am nowhere near that. When my grandmother died, she was born in 1900. She died in 98. She was 98 years old. And at her funeral, I sang and I made a speech. I looked over at a casket and I said, Grandma, you left some hard shoes to follow because I will never be able to hold up to what you were. And I still don't hold a candle to her, but I do the best I can in the modern day world of grandmotherism. I do the best I can because I have 20 grands, 13 great grands, and it's and I have a total of 5 kids. Four I gave birth to, one adopted, and it's just it's a roller coaster with them because you have so many different personalities you're dealing with. I only had to deal with 5 different personalities. Then they started multiplying and having their spawn. And everybody's got a whole different personality. So it's like, some I can stand, some I can't. I love them all, would die for them for a good cause, as I tell them, not for no BS. But yeah, I have a village, okay?
I see that. That's a lot. Like, listen, ain't nobody gonna mess with you. You got too many people that can come get you. You don't know who coming. Um,
Yeah.
and that's the beauty of it. So it's listen, y'all have to understand how much I'm in awe of her, of Queen, because her story is something that it resonates with me because yes, you speaking to her and listening to her, you will realize that your worth and you're loving yourself and making sure you love right is important, and you do not have to accept subpar treatment from anybody. And I'm really grateful and thankful that you're releasing your book to share that with us because we don't hear stories like this anymore. We don't get to see this the real anymore as much as we need to. And so you're bringing that and giving us something that we as a people and we as the world we need. So I thank you so much for that. So can you tell everyone where they can where you'll be releasing the book and where to find you?
Well, the I Am My Sister's Keeper should be out anytime now. Talicia Berry is the book publisher,
Okay.
and she had, what am I trying to say? She had gotten sick, so we had to put it off for a while because she was ill. So now that she's better, It's going to be people can buy it online real soon. I will let you know so you can spread that word. My autobiography is still in the works. We still have a little more tweaking and work and tweaking on that to do. So, but yeah, I can't. I'm sure we're pushing for a summer release. So,
Yes.
COVID slowed everything down.
Yes, it did, but
So yeah.
it didn't deter. It did not stop. It just slowed it
Not
down
it's
a
just
little
like
bit.
just slowed it down. That's it. So yeah. So I can't wait. Hey, I tell people when I die, I'm not having a funeral. I'm not having a memorial. I don't want. I told my children I don't want an obituary because if they want to know about my life, buy the book.
Eh, I say have a celebration. That's my biggest thing. Y'all better go have it. Do what I like to do. Go be by yourself. Go do something nice. Don't, you know what I'm saying? And then I get when people do that, but I want people to, I want to leave people with happiness and, memories. I don't, it's one of those things. So, but I'm thankful for talking to you today. And it's like, I'm so excited because it's like, your story is because you have been around some of the people that I've looked up to, and then your personality, and you are just. I can't wait to COVID slow down so I can fly out to California and just
Oh,
come out
you're
there.
more than welcome. Hey, you know what I tell everybody? You're more than welcome and invited. I have a guest room just for you. I just tell everybody bring their spending money because I don't have any more money. That's why
Um,
I'm trying to get. That's why I'm trying to get the Diva Glamour show out. And again, like you were asking me before, yes, myself and one of my divas, we have a store. It's called Front Page Fashion One, home of the Diva Glamours in Palmdale, California, where we reside. And the Diva Glamour show, we've just gotten with a new production company, Busy Girl Productions, and we're getting ready to film first pilot. So like I said, COVID thought it had did a lot of damage. It just slowed us down. That's all because we as Black women, hey, we're
make it work.
fierce. And we're gonna keep it coming until, like I said, until we close our eyes for good. You
Hello,
know,
we will
yeah,
keep working.
yeah.
I'm I'm excited because I'm gonna make sure I gotta come out and be on that one of them episodes.
Oh,
Um,
of course you do. Of course you. Sharifa is the associate producer of the show. Yes. So and Belinda Baker, oh my God, she's a godsend. She's the executive producer, and she has always believed in me and what I was trying to do, with the project because I was like love and hip hop. You know, I love those shows. I look at them faithfully, but I wanted something a little more positive for the
right.
older, mature women because we get mad and catty. Don't get me wrong, but we're not throwing any punches, but sometimes words can hurt worse than a
Mm.
punch. So
Listen, that's what I learned from my great grandmother too. I was like, "Did you just say that to somebody? Just hurt their whole heart? You could just slap me. Don't say that to me. Like just because
yeah,
that
that's exactly. That's exactly what I mean. So we don't have to throw any punches because we can throw words that'll cut like a knife. But for the most part, we all semi get along. Some of them are my soul train sisters. We go all the way back to the '70s together. So it's like everybody's aged up, gone through menopause, and now it's just like I can say and do what I want type attitude. So you can imagine getting getting that the middle aged women together and the cattiness. Oh, we will put them youngsters to shame because
I
they haven't walked in our shoes.
I bet, and I can't wait to watch it. I'm definitely gonna definitely coming out there because I really want to be. I really got to be a fly on the wall for this. I'm excited to see everything that's coming from you, and I'm so excited that we are connected now. And I thank you so much because I know it's early. That it's early, kind of early where you are. It's 3 hours ahead. Mm.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's kind
But
of early. So
I'm an early riser because you know what? Hey, my grandmother taught me, you got to start in the morning, and and like the commercial says, I've done more by noon than most people will do all day, some in a lifetime, I'm sure.
That is true. I realize because I don't even have an alarm set, and I'm up at 6:55. So I'm like, what is going on? Like I'm turning into my dad. Um,
I know, I know, I
but
know.
thank you so much for talking to me today. I definitely cannot wait to come back, and when the book is released, we do a virtual book tour, so and we can get it out there. I'm so thankful for you today.
Oh, thank you for having me, Chandra. And again, as I always say, I want you as a young Black female to know your worth, know who you are, love yourself, because no one is going to love you more than yourself and God. Always remember that, because it's mandatory. It's mandatory that we love ourselves, because we are worthy of anything that comes to us positive, and sometimes negative, if we're out there not, not living right. But yeah, you deserve to live your life like it's gold. Be you rich, poor, or middle class, you deserve the best that you can be.
Thank you so much. And with that, y'all, I ain't got nothing to say because she gave us something to go out on. So thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, Chandra, bye.
Bye.